And this is all about AM, asset management. And if you hear the term PM, what is it? Or property management, right? Or property manager. Our goal is to high level 30,000 foot view. This is the awesomeness of MIA. You know, we talk about how owning multifamily is literally a 4-quarter game. The first quarter is finding the deal. The second quarter is closing the deal. My gosh, what all happens to close a deal? Third quarter, that's where we are today in asset management, because now we have to manage this thing. Okay, we got married to it. Now we have to, make sure that we have a great experience and that our investors are winning. So that's a long quarter, that third quarter. That may be a 10-year quarter. How long we keep it is how long that quarter is. Then the fourth quarter is prepping it to sell or refinance. There's work that has to be done there. But if you run it really good in the third quarter, the fourth quarter is an easy lift. If you've ever had a home that you were getting ready to sell, it's a whole lot easier to put a sign in the yard because the home's ready to sell than having to get ready to sell. Getting ready to sell, getting ready to refinance, appraisals, everything else that has to happen. It's almost like a sale. Financials have to be in order. So how you run that third quarter of AM, asset management, is going to also predict, is it an easy fourth quarter? So we actually score, the game's over. You know, we shut the books on the property and now we go do it again and again. Under asset management is getting ready for the sell. Because guess what? This is not a 30-day close typically. It's not sometimes a 60-day close. This could be a 90-day close. So you really have to do a lot to make sure the property is still performing once it goes under contract. What, as new buyers, do we still need to pay attention to before this property closes? So I want to see some information here, and we're going to break this down for you. So we got the vacant units, absolutely. We want to make sure vacant units we understand occupancy. You guys have put in security deposit, exactly. The accuracy of that. Deferred maintenance, what deferred maintenance issues, and turnover, occupancy rates, and then of course qualifying and quality, right? Any past due rent or delinquencies. So we need to keep the occupancy rate high, but we also need to make sure it's not a pump and dump. So going back and making sure the rent rolls, we do the auditing of the leases again. So this all happens, and who does it, right? If you are self-managing, let's just pretend we're self-managing this. We don't even have a property management company. That PM, that property management company, is going to do this, but who's paying them to do it? Because did we hire them yet? Did we sign an agreement with them yet? Did we put some kind of down payment, right? That's the beauty of relationships. A third-party management may have you sign the agreement, and then they're like, this is the upfront work we're going to do, but could you back out of that agreement? Like, some things could happen. Another question may be, will this property management company, can they come in and do due diligence? The answer is probably not. These are the things that definitely your property management company is going to handle, and you may have to sign an agreement with them. There might be some kind of upfront money. Some property management companies may not even get involved until you guys have keys. That's really playing a lot of defense. Ideally, we want to have offense with this company. Now, there's also, we got to know, can they get on property and what access do they have? Some sellers are like, come on in. You know, we know y'all haven't bought it yet, but you're welcome to come. Some sellers maybe, keeping stuff back, and nope, you got to stay at a distance, and we'll provide you financials, maybe. But you've got to have these conversations. Who's going to be the middleman or middlewoman, the mediator, right? The broker. The broker is going to be that middle person that you're working with. Some cases have a buyer's broker that is representing you, and then those brokers are working together. But typically what we're working with the seller's broker, and that's where relationships built too, because guess what? They want your business when you decide to sell it, right? They want reciprocity. So they already know the property, and it's different than a residential exchange. because they really do want to have good graces and good relationship with the new buyers coming in, because they want that business down the road. And so now, if we're not keeping the same property management company, we're going to come in with a whole new coaching staff. Imagine that. There was talk about the Dallas Cowboys coach. Is he going to stay or is he going to get booted? Well, if he gets booted, probably a lot of his staff gets booted. So ideally, this is some insider secrets, guys. You have to know going in, is this a seller that is vertically integrated? Meaning this is their property manager. Let's call her Sheila. Sheila is either going to get transferred to another property once it sells that they own, or Sheila's out of a job. So we're walking with Sheila and we're like, hey, Sheila, okay, no, the owner is in California, great, and he self-manages. What's the plan once this property sells? Oh, well, I may be moving down the street to another property. Oh, okay, sounds great. Would you ever consider, or would you ever be willing to potentially come aboard and stay on property? That's how you word it. We're not offering her a job. We're asking her if she's open to it. Would you be open to? And so now what happens? Her spidey senses go up. Oh my gosh, I may have a new opportunity to stay here. I know the property. And then we also then feel like she's going to be paying attention. And it could be, we're then now going to see how well she's treated the property, how well the property is doing. So we want to keep this transition. We want to keep this all up, high tone. We want to keep it at a level that everybody's excited about the future, not, well, see you later, good luck. A super awesome transition so that your asset management, that third quarter, is a rock star. You don't want to lose time. I've ever run track, right? The baton pass. What happens? They have to keep running that are passing it, and you have to start running as it's being passed, so we don't lose time. We don't want it dropped for sure. This is what stabilization, a lot of it is coming with that asset management team. They have a lot when it comes to making sure that property gets stabilized, how quickly it happens or the delay. So there's a lot of things to consider. So this thing happens very, very smoothly, as smooth as it can be.